Okay, and welcome everybody. Welcome to week 3 of our 6-week training programme. This is the first training programme that I've hosted online where I'm in control of the webinar, so you'll have to bear with me. Can people just put their hands up to make sure that they can all hear me okay? Fantastic, and everybody can see my screen okay? Yep, a couple of hands have gone up there. Okay, so let's get started. So, as I say, welcome to week 3 of our 6-week training programme. I hope you've all had an absolutely fantastic bank holiday weekend. And well done for taking the time out of your evening to log in tonight, because you're investing in yourself and in your business to grow and develop your team, develop your business, develop your income. And that's what we want to do. We want to learn. And that's what this 6-week rolling training programme is all about. So let's get started. Week 3, what are we going to be going over tonight? It's myself and Aruj that are going to be hosting this evening. And what have we got in store for you? Well, week 3, prospecting for diamonds. And I know we went over this last week on week 2 with Emma and Nazia, but we're going to be looking at additional methods of prospecting for those diamonds, looking for those diamond managers that you're going to find into your business, and obviously going to help grow your business and grow your income. Sending information out, what we send, and how we're going to follow up, because following up is key. If you're not following up, then you're not doing your job properly. So we need to be looking at following up and how we're going to do that. And then I'll be handing over to Aruj for her to look at the one-to-one presentation, how to be presenting the business to your prospects, what you should be saying, and the tools that you should be using. And then building a successful pipeline, keeping your pipeline full, so that people will start to drop through into your business, and how to track these with your activity tracker. Last week, Emma and Nazia went over your dream and your goal book, and I hope you've all got them up and running as of last week. Mine's in my kitchen and I look at it every single time I go in there, so I hope you've got them up and running. Profiling and contacting, they went over new customers, your 100 plus name list, your who do you know list, and points recording sheet. So that's what we went over last week. So then, prospecting for diamonds, what alternate methods can we be using? There's lots and lots and lots of different ones, and you need to concentrate on 3 of these methods. These are income generating activities. So there are different ways of prospecting for those diamonds. For me, key is your who do you know list. So you should always be using your who do you know list, and you should never come to the end of that who do you know list. You are always meeting new people. So for me, I was really excited when I've got a massive who do you know list. But I've also got my husband's who do you know list, not just from Facebook, but he knows a completely different group of people than I do. They are people that I know. Granted, I know them through my husband, but there are all sorts of different people that I will be contacting. You're never going to run out of people at your who do you know list. So people will say, well, what do I do when I get to the end of my who do you know list? You won't, because you are always meeting new people. What I did when I first started my business, anybody that ever inquired about the Clean 9 post that I put on Facebook, they become somebody that you know. You're not just trying to sell them a product, you're also going to show them the opportunity for the business. You're going to give them an invitation to look at, the business opportunity that we've got. So if somebody would comment on one of my posts, I would put them on my who do you know list, because I would contact and speak to them about the business. So for me, my main activity is always my who do you know list, and everything else I do around that. So what have we got? Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. Facebook to me and social media sites are a massive, massive tool. They are going to help with your business. So what I will say is, make people want to join you. Make them, look at what you're doing, be excited by what you're doing. So play your Facebook clever. Make sure that your statuses reflect your life that you're living, whether it be your first bonus. If that's only £10, fantastic, that's your bonus of £10. Get that on there. Whether it be, I'm going to treat myself to a new pair of shoes and my bonus for forever. You want to make people look at what you're doing, because that's what Facebook is. It's a nosy person's network. We're nosy what other people are doing. So let them look at what you're doing and think, what she's always posting about this business. What is it? Play your Facebook clever. So don't be moaning on Facebook. Would people want to join you? So if you're excited, you look like, you're always out there meeting new people are going to want to be part of that. Whereas if you're on Facebook moaning, I've had a bad day, this has gone wrong, my car's broke down, whatever it is, you don't want to be making your life look negative. We've always said it's about having a positive mindset. People would want to be part of that. So use Facebook and use Facebook properly. Concept marketing, this is one of my favourites. It's people shopping. So you're going to be speaking to people every time that you're out. I do not ever miss an opportunity to speak to at least 2 new people everywhere I go. My husband sits in the corner, shaking his head, giggling at me every time I say, I'll be back in a minute, love, I'm just going speaking to that girl over there. Why? Because the fear for me of having to return to a 9-to-5 job or shift work in my case, as it'd be, is much greater than the fear of approaching somebody when I'm out and telling them about this opportunity. If it's not for them, fine. But there has been times, not many because I don't let myself do it, but there has been times when I have gone home and missed an opportunity to speak to somebody new. And for the rest of the evening, I kick myself. So what I've done now, I've learned from that and I've promised myself that I will speak to somebody new everywhere I go. So a fantastic example will be when I go to the park. I don't just look at whatever my daughter's doing on the slides. I'm constantly looking round for people to speak to. Last week I saw a lady with a pram. I make sure I go and park my pram next to hers and strike up conversation with her. So in that way I will be leaving with her Facebook details, with her mobile number, whatever it may be. I ideally trying to get everybody to add me on Facebook, because if this opportunity isn't for them now, as long as I've got them on my Facebook, they will watch and they will follow what I'm doing. So the opportunity, don't forget, it's not a no never, it's just a no not now. So if they're following me on Facebook, watching what I'm doing, there is nothing to say 2, 3, 6, 12 months down the line, they wouldn't want to join my business. Face-to-face conversations. So I'm sure a couple of my new team members will be on the call tonight. I was out at a 40th birthday party last weekend and I started talking to 2 people about the business. The day after, one of the ladies that I was speaking to watched the business presentation. She joined there and then. And that is all from speaking about the business, getting excited and showing her this incredible opportunity that we sat on. So cards and flyers. You're going to be doing this, you want to be doing this consistently. So set yourself a target. If you've got leaflets or flyers or whatever it is you want to give out, set yourself a target of 50 leaflets. Do not come home until you've delivered them 50 leaflets. Make it fun. So me and my daughter do it. We go out on the estate or we pick an estate to do. We have 50 leaflets and we post them together. She thinks it's absolutely incredible. Some people might say it's slave labour, but she doesn't know any different. She absolutely loves it. Well, she did until she got her finger stuck in a letterbox, but that's another story. But so do that. Set yourself a target of today, I'm going to do 50 leaflets in a different area. And if you want to continue with carding and that's going to be your activity, make sure you're doing that every day of the week. Be consistent at it. Your put box. This to me is a fantastic way of getting your products out there, but also make your put boxing around sponsoring. So in my put box, I've got Your Future DVD and I've wrote on the front of there, are you interested in earning an extra income? I've put in there a little bit about my background and about my story with Forever So Far, because you do not know who is going to walk into that house, pick up the DVD and think, oh, what's this? Or I could do with extra money. If it's sat in your house, if your put box is in your living room now as we speak, or wherever it might be in your house, A, it is not out there getting your products out there, but B, you are not sharing the opportunity. It's not generating you any income whatsoever. So aim to get your put box out at least 2 to 3 times a week. It's free money, it's money. While you might be at work or at school or whatever it is you may be, your put box is out there. But if you want to sponsor from your put box, make it around sponsoring. So put things in there that are going to appeal to people. You've got local shows and exhibitions. Get on Google, look in your local newspaper, whatever it may be, and see what shows and events or markets or whatever it may be are coming up in your area. And then that way, whether it be that you go and set up a table there, whether you go and set up a stall, but think outside the box. Do tabletops, whether it be at the school, school church fair, whether it be at your children's primary school, whatever it may be. But be looking for new places to get out there, because what you're going to do, granted you'll have all your products out there, but you're going to be speaking to lots and lots and lots of different people throughout that day about the business. So you'll be sharing the business opportunity with them, as well as your products. Your products will be there. But don't forget, this is a way of getting people's details. So when you're speaking to them, tell them what you're doing. Be excited about what you're doing and aim to be getting new numbers. Set yourself a target. I'm not going home until I've got at least 5, 10 new numbers or new contact details, new Facebook numbers, whatever it may be. But set yourself that target and push for it. Referrals. So every time I speak to somebody, we know that we want to leave it open. So thanks very much for that. Fine, it might not be for you. However, is it for somebody that you know? If you don't ask this question, they won't ever refer somebody off the back of it, off themselves. So no thanks, it's not for me. However, it might be for my friend. They wouldn't do that. If you're asking the question though, so a lady that I introduced to the business a few weeks ago, I'd messaged her partner about the business. And she said to me, no, it's not for me. Fine. I replied saying, thank you very much. Thanks for looking at it. Thanks for your time. Is it for somebody that you might know? And she replied, actually, yeah, my girlfriend would probably be really interested. The day after she joined the business. She did that because I asked for that referral. So make sure that when you're speaking to people, you are asking that, is it for somebody that you know? Because you'll probably find that 9 times out of 10 they'll say, actually, yeah, my sister could do with extra money around her kids, or my friend's a hairdresser, she'd love this. Local advertising. So go to your corner shop or your local market, whatever it may be, with your leaflets and ask them to put it in the shop window. Why not? You want to be getting out there in your community, leaving your leaflets where you can, so whether that be at a baby club or whatever. If they're happy with you leaving your leaflets there, do that. Leave your leaflets wherever you're going. Product launches. This is massive for me. We need to look at product launches, not just for your products and sharing your products, but as a way of sponsoring. Because to me, if you're holding your product launches and you're holding them properly, your products will just sell, because that's what we're there to do. We're there to speak about the products and share the products. But not only that, you're there to share this incredible opportunity. So at the beginning, you'll be telling them about why you've been introduced to Forever. You'll be telling them about the business. And at the end of it, you're sharing the opportunity with them. So make sure at the end of the product launch, you're talking to people. And that's not just talking to people about your products, that's talking to people about the business and about the opportunity, the income that they can generate, the products that they'll be able to recommend to their friends and family. Get talking to people. I've got people within our team that have held product launches where they've got maybe 5, 6, 7 or 8 people there. And granted, they've not sold a lot of products, but they sponsored 4 of the people that are at that product launch. What a fantastic product launch. So see product launches more for sponsoring and not just sharing your products, because that will just come anyway. Satisfied customers, again, this is key. If you are looking after your customers, whether that be your Clean9 customers, whether that be your regular customers, look after them. Because if they love the products as much as we do, and they have an amazing customer service, potentially they will be people that want to join your team. We've got so many people that are probably sat on this call tonight that have joined off the back of having amazing results with the Clean9, having amazing results with the drinking gels. And that's because they've been looked after, and then from there you can speak about the business to them. So look after your customers. So talks to groups. So have a look at groups, whether it be, different charities, whether that be baby sensory groups. Get in there, whether it be joining network clubs. Have a look, like we said, think outside the box. And what you want to do is every month set yourself 3 methods of marketing. So I'm going to contact on my Who Do You Know list. I'm going to make sure I contact market every time I'm out, and I'm going to post leaflets. But have a plan, put your plan in place, and tell yourself what you're going to do. And as I've said, whether that be your leafleting or whether you are contact marketing, if you know that you're going to set your goal of, I want 10, 15 new numbers this week, concentrate on these income generating activities. So, contact marketing. What are we going to do? People will be put off by this at first. it wasn't natural to me to go up to new people that I'd never met before and tell them about the business. What I will say is, this business is all about getting out of your comfort zone. You're not going to succeed if you just sat in your comfort zone. Success isn't going to come to you. Go out there and find success. Work for it. So what I'm telling you is, in this business, you will do things that make you feel uncomfortable, but it's about how you overcome them, how you keep connected with your why, and make sure that your why is forefront of your mind. So if I'm ever out and I think, you know what, I can't be bothered speaking to anybody today, I look down at my pram where my little boy sat, and that is enough for me to say, right, come on, Lise, get in gear and get a number, start speaking to people. So at first, I'd come away. When I first started my business, I think, oh my goodness, that was shocking. She looked at me like I was an absolute nutter. But it's practice. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect. So if you speak to somebody and you don't get the response that you want, or you don't feel as confident as you wanted, don't let that put you off. Make that drive you that you're going to improve. So what are you going to do? You're going to engage in casual conversation with people. So for me, every single time I'm served by somebody at a till in a clothes shop, I strike up conversation. Make it casual, make it, exciting. Talk about, whatever it is. The last person I spoke to, you want to be saying to them, your customer service skills are absolutely fantastic. You'd be amazing at what I do. And all I say is, are you on Facebook? They say, yeah, yeah. And they look at me a bit like, where's she going with this? All you want to say is, you'd be incredible at what I do. Can I add you on Facebook and send you a 5-minute link to have a look at? What's the worst that they can say? No. It's about looking for those diamonds. So 9 times out of 10, just from intrigue, they'll say, yeah, okay, if you want. There you go, you've got a new number, you've got a new contact, somebody that's going to watch and follow you on Facebook. Somebody just unmuted themselves. Bear with me, guys, let's see what's going on. How bizarre. Use business cards. So don't go out without having a business card or a flyer to use as a conversation opener. So have your cards there. When you strike a conversation, it looks much more professional rather than you just trying to get, somebody's number. Use your card. Can I give you my card? You've got my contact details. It's simple, it's duplicatable. Make it fun, but practice, 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 and keep challenging yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. And that's just saying there that we've got a senior manager within the business that builds his business all on contact marketing. You're going to be meeting new people every time you're out. Get excited by that. When you're out, think, who am I going to meet today? Who am I going to meet today that is potentially going to join my business? It's about being prepared. So as we've said, you want your business cards because you want them to leave, not only with you having their contact details. I always say, can I add you on Facebook? Yeah, if you want. Okay, let me do that now. Help me find you. Where are you on? Is this you? Get them there, having a look on your Facebook, on your phone, and saying, yeah, that's me. Right, fab, I've just sent you a friend request. If you just accept me, then I can send you some information later on. You've got the commitment from them then. You've got them there so that you can send. Rather than saying, I'll try and add you later on. If you can't find them, then how are you ever going to speak to that person again? You've not got the details. So add them there and then. Give them your business card. It looks professional, as we've said. But have a small notepad and pen. So whether that be, right, I've added you on Facebook. Have you got an email address? Get that written down. Make sure that you've got that contact secured. Be smart. So when you're speaking to people, it's about being professional, representing a huge, huge company. Be smart, be professional, be excited. And if you're nervous, it says there, buddy up. If you're nervous and it's not something you can do first off on your own, get together with somebody on your team and go contact marketing. Challenge yourselves. You speak to the first person, your friend speaks to the next person. Make it fun. Don't be put off by it because it's about getting out there and speaking to people and just sharing the opportunity. Remember, it's not going to be for everybody. All you're doing is giving somebody the opportunity, which is the exact same opportunity that you had to look at this business. Where are you going to do it? Absolutely everywhere. Every time you go shopping, mum and toddler groups, when I was sat in the maternity ward, when I was waiting for my scan, perfect. You're speaking to new mums or new mums to be that are going to be looking for something. They might not want to go back to work. Train stations. The list is endless. Where you're going to do it, every single place you go, whether that be at the park, whether that be on nights out, all you're doing is striking up conversation with people and giving them the opportunity to watch the same information that you've watched. So, like I say, challenge yourself. If you're going out, make sure that wherever it is, you're leaving with everything that you need, your tools. So you've got your business cards and your goal. I am going to speak to at least 2 new people today, and don't come back until it's done. What we're going to say, whatever you want, you're striking up conversation. So I find that people like compliments. Of course they do. We all do. So thanks very much for helping me today. With your attitude, you will be great at my business. All right, what is it you do? You're then striking up conversation. Always respond positive about forever. So I'm expanding my business in the area. I'm looking for 5 people this month that would like to earn £1,000 a month over the next 4 months. We can do that. Of course we can. Excuse me, I wondered if you can help me. We're raising the profile of our company in the area and I'd like to give you some information. Can I give you my card? If you've not got your cards there, how unprofessional does it look? Make sure you've got them. Be excited, be confident. They don't know that you might be absolutely petrified about speaking to them. Only you'll know that inside. But you've challenged yourself, you've set the challenge, so just get excited with it. You're sharing an opportunity. But if you sit there thinking, shall I talk to him? Shan't I talk to him? You'll miss your opportunity. Get out there, get it done, and be excited about it. What do we do? Well, we show people how to develop a second income stream. You can see them all there on the screen. We show people how to develop a work-life balance. And I always say from that, I'm in the police, my husband's in the police, we haven't got a work-life balance. Our family life is shocking. He's either at work or I'm at work. You're striking up conversation with people. You're not robotic. Tell them about your life. Tell them what you saw in the opportunity. Share it with them. So we show people how to start their own very lucrative home-based businesses, working alongside myself and the company. We mentor people to earn a substantial income. Whatever it is you want to say, but feel confident in what you're saying. It's no good sounding like you're reading from a script. You want to feel confident and it wants to roll off your tongue when you're speaking to people. So we're in the health and sector industry. It might be something that you like. So when I speak to some people, I say, you love these products. Look at how glam you are. Again, you're giving them a compliment. You're bigging them up. You've got them there. You've got their attention. From there, you're going to be getting their contact details. So remember, it is no good going to all the hard work of getting these contacts if you are not going to follow up. You might as well not even bother stepping out of your comfort zone to get the contact, because follow up is key. So if you say, can I send you some information, and then I'll give you a ring or I'll message you after 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is. But at the time you said you would call, or whenever you said you would follow them up with a message, make sure you do, because it is unprofessional and you're not getting yourself set off to a flying start. The longer you leave it, the more interest you're going to lose your interest, you're going to lose your prospects, because your excitement sells. So if you've got them excited about what you've got to show them, and then you leave it for a week and a half, whatever it may be, your excitement's worn off then. You've got to act upon it. So you're sending them information. Can I give you a ring when you've watched it? Message them, whatever it is you want to do. But do not hide behind Facebook or email or whatever it is, because people will breed off your excitement. So you want to start, it says there, building your relationship. So building that rapport, you've got that by speaking to them. You've got the retention. And from there, you're going to either arrange a one-to-one, send them information, so whether that be an online business presentation, take them to a business presentation, or they can watch your future DVD. But from you sending that link, that 5-minute invitation about the business, you then want to be showing them the opportunity, whether that be, like I said, with the full business presentation, or ideally, take them along with you to your next business presentation. What you're going to say when you're following up. So, hi Sam, it's Lisa. We met briefly yesterday and I'm calling as promised to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, and the kind of people that we're looking for. Is now a good time to speak? You want to ask that because if they're in the middle of making tea, if they're in the middle of having a tantrum with the babies, whatever it may be, it's not going to be a good time. So you want to ask that because you want their full attention, so they're listening to what you say. So yeah, it's a good time. Great. Before I take you through all that, it'd be really helpful for me if I could just ask you a quick questions. So, where is it you're based? So I live wherever it may be. Fantastic. Are you currently working? You're building a profile on them. So you're married, single, family. In an ideal world, what is it you want to be doing? So for me, I certainly don't want to be working shifts around my husband. Listen to what they are saying. Take the time. It's no good in just asking these questions and not listening to the answers. So if you're going to ask them, listen. Tell me what made you respond to my card, what made you respond to my advert. And when you've listened to all that and you've got your profile, write it down as you're speaking so you know and you remember. And then, right, thanks for that. Let me tell you about us. Again, keep it conversational, get excited, don't sound like you're reading from a script. So when I speak to people, I make sure that I'm walking around the room because that way I'm getting excited, I'm up and about, I'm moving around, and it's G'ing me up. Cards and flyers. This is great if it's going to be used consistently. It will generate your results, but you have to be doing it all the time. So it's no good just posting 3 or 4 leaflets or doing it once or twice and never continuing it. So you want to use it as a conversation opener. So when you've got them, to me, I would rather hand them out. So go to, whether it be a train station where there's a big footflow of people, whether it be on a Friday afternoon, whatever it is, but set yourself that day that you're going to do for 3 weeks or whatever it may be, 4 weeks. But you want to be going on the same day at the same time. Hand them out. So I drove past the school the other day and the flow of people, I couldn't, and it's every school, but it was only when I looked and thought, how many mums are there? Mums, dads, aunties, whatever it may be, childminders, are at the school gates at 3 o'clock. So, for the next 3 weeks, tell yourself, on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock, I'm going to go and stand outside school and give out my leaflets. And even if people haven't got the time to speak to you, make sure you're handing them out to as many people as possible. And if you can strike up conversation, of course you are going to do that. Put them through letterbox with your children, like I said. Don't get the fingers stuck in the letterbox. It did put her off slightly. But do that and set yourself, like I've said, the target of 50 leaflets every day before you come home. Wherever you go, leave a paper trail. So one of my team members, God love her, says to me, I don't go anywhere without leaving my card somewhere. So why not stick leaflets on cards, whatever it is you want to do. These are different prospecting cards, so make them fun if you're going to get them made, whether it be on Vistaprint or anything like that. Make them eye-catching. You don't want them to be dull. You want them to me, be eye-catching to people, that people are going to look at them and think, oh, what is it? Go away and want to have another look at it, rather than you're giving them a leaflet, it's dull, it's boring, they screw it up and they put it in the bin. What a waste of your time. Make it eye-catching for people to have a look at, enough information about our business to want to recontact you. Right, that's my part over with, guys. I'm going to hand over to Aruj, if I can just find her. Bear with me 1 second. Aruj, can you stick your hand up for me so it might make it a little bit easier for me to find you? There she is. I'll unmute you, my lovely, and I'll mute myself. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Right, thank you very much. I'll mute myself.
Hi guys, thanks Lisa, that was brilliant. I took loads of tips from you. Hope everybody's got their pens and papers and their notepads full. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a one-to-one, building a successful pipeline and what you need to do in order to get your activity bustling. So how do you build a successful pipeline? Once you call somebody, you need to put them onto your pipeline only if you've arranged a meeting with them, or if you've agreed to meet them, or you've taken enough information from them to put onto your pipeline, because your pipeline needs to be full of people, not only people that you've spoken to, but it needs to be full of people who are interested in what you're doing. So you need to develop your pipeline. If you're doing your activities, the activities that Lisa spoke about, your 3 prospecting activities, if you're doing them part-time, you should have 20 prospects minimum on your pipeline. And if you're doing them full-time, you should have 40 prospects minimum. So the more time you put into your business, the more people you're going to have in your pipeline, and the more people coming through are going to end up as people on your team. So you need to use a pipeline to coach your new distributors to show them how the numbers work. The more people that you speak to, so if you're speaking to 20 people, the stats show part-time, if you're speaking to 20 people, if you do a one-to-one with, I think, 20 people, then 2 of those should join your team, end up as prospecting, as people in your team, sorry. So you need to show your team that the more you have at the top of your pipeline, then the more people are going to filter through to the bottom and end up within your team. If somebody says to you no, that doesn't mean no, I'm not going to join your team ever. That means no, not now. So put people in your diary. If somebody's saying to you no, then put them into your diary somewhere in the future so that you can follow up with them and say, okay, what about now? Because you never know. When somebody sees your activity, when somebody sees how successful you are a few months down the line, or a year down the line, or however long it takes you, months, if you're following the example of somebody like Lisa or Emma, weeks even, then you never know when these people will say yes to you. If you take me, for example, I started my journey in May last year. The amount of no's I had, the amount of people that I had laughing at me who I knew, my family and friends, and now, 6+ months on, I've been in the business for a year now. These same people are joining my team. In the past couple of months, a lot of my family and a lot of my friends have actually joined my team. And these are the people who said no and laughed at me in the beginning. So it doesn't mean no. You've got to show people. Actions speak louder than words. So, when you ask somebody and they say no, then show them that actually it does work, and then they'll come back to you. So put people in your diary. Don't rule them out. Could I have the next slide, please, Lisa? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to follow the team building cycle. So we need to look at potential team members. So this is what Lisa was talking about in the beginning on your activity list, your who do you know list, your contact list. You need to write out your contact list, and you need to look at potential team members. And this team building cycle is what works for everybody, and it's so simple. All you need to do is follow it. It's that easy. It's not easy as in seeing results. You have to work hard, but the cycle, following it, is easy. If you follow the cycle, you will see results, and those numbers will come through your pipeline. So you need to do your who do you know list and contact people, and you need to contact them. You can either call them, so there's phone, you can email them. We've got Facebook, which Lisa was saying it's a brilliant tool. The Messenger app on Facebook is fantastic. You can have a proper conversation just like a text message, or WhatsApp, or any of these apps that you have on your smartphones. Or you can meet face to face, and then when you show people the business, this is the one-to-one stage. You can either show them the one-to-one, which is a presenter, which I'll show you in a few moments. You can show them the DVD, which you get in your starter pack and your new distributor pack. If you haven't watched it, then I urge you watch it. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic tool to put in your pop boxes. A lot of people, when they look at your pop boxes, they not only look at the products, they look at the information that you put in there. So your DVD is a fantastic tool to put in your pop boxes, because you can say to the person when you're showing them the products, when you drop off your pop box, you can say to them, look, I've put this information in there. If you've got a bit of spare time in the evening, a bit of time to yourself, just pop it in your DVD player, pop it in your laptop, and have a look at what it is that I do in a little bit more detail. Or there's an online video, the 8-minute link we've got. Juliana's got a link. A lot of the team leaders have got a link. If you're on qlsonline.net, you'll have your own link. It's the one that ends in frppro.biz. Or we've got lots of 5-minute videos within our team. Juliana's got her 5-minute link. I think Emma's got hers as well. Quite a few people have got their 5-minute link. So these are the tools that you use to show people the business once you've contacted them. And then we've got the business presentation, which is our company meeting, or it's an individual presentation. So everybody, whatever area you're in, you're going to have a business presentation. We've got a lot of QLS ones starting up, or that have started up recently. So in the Midlands area, we've got the one in Warwick, which is a QLS presentation. We've got Lisa and Emma have just started one up in Manchester. Jules and all the Wales team, you've got the one that you guys go to regularly. We've got the one in London, I think it's either Marble Arch or Stratford, which some of my team go to as well. So we've got the company business presentation, the QLS one, which is fantastic. So if you've got one local to you, go there and take your prospects. It's a fantastic way of showing people the business and getting in contact with people who are doing well in the business. So your guests who you take to the business presentation with you, you can introduce them to people, and when you're surrounded by success, there's that positive energy there. So it's only going to help you, and it's only going to help your prospects feel positive about the business. Or the other option is an individual presentation. So we have got recorded business presentations within our team. We've got the one that Jules and Emma did, and we've got a few more. They're on YouTube. The links are all in the files in Dragons. When you speak to somebody, you can either send them the link, or you could take them through the business presentation yourself. We've got the slides again on QLS Online. Your mentors or your sponsors, your uplines will have the link if you haven't got them. So you can use those to take somebody through the business presentation. Or we have actually got a presentation lined up this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. It's an online one that we do every now and then for the team. So once you've done the one-to-one with somebody, the next stage is a business presentation, and that's where you show them in more detail what the business is all about, how they can make money, how they can build a team, how they can build a fantastic, massive business and get all the incentives that we've got available. And then when they say yes, the next stage is to get them started. So first thing that you want to do is book in their planning meeting as soon as possible, and get them training, get them listening into all the trainings, all the links, catching up on all the files in Dragons, and just reading up everything so that they can get started and they can get the ball rolling and start building up that income generating activity straight away. Next slide, please, Lisa. Okay, so what does a one-to-one do? What the one-to-one does is it establishes your qualities as a coach and a mentor, because essentially that's what you are. You're not somebody who is you're not a distributor as such. You're not selling the products. You're a coach, you're a mentor, you're helping people. You're not only helping people with the products by helping their health, you're helping them with the business by helping them build a successful business. So your job is to coach people and mentor business to build up, to do exactly what you want to be and exactly what you want to do. And it's a process that you follow hand in hand with your team. You've got to think that, like Lisa was saying before, when she was talking about Facebook activity, you've got to be the sort of person that your team wants to be. Your prospect must buy you before they listen to what you're offering them. So you need to be positive. You need to show them that you're positive about this business. This business is exactly what you want it to be. It's exactly what they want it to be, and it's a life-changing opportunity, because that is exactly what it is. You need to believe that. So you need to know that what you're offering people is not only something that they can earn a bit of extra money from. It's something that can completely change their life in a really good way. So it's that needs to come across. You know, you've got to have that excitement about it. Okay. So where are you going to do your one-to-one? Location is so important. You need to choose a neutral location. So if your prospect is somebody that you met at contact marketing, then choose somewhere like a coffee shop, or if it's somebody that you know personally off your who do you know list, you can either meet them at your home or you can meet them at their home. Choose somewhere that you both, a place where your prospect will feel comfortable. If it's somebody that you don't know, you know, you don't necessarily want to call them over to your house because that's out of their comfort zone. So you want to be somewhere where they feel as comfortable as you do. You know, you want them to feel like that, like, you know, they're in a position where they can be comfortable. Dress appropriately. You don't have to turn up in a suit, but don't turn up, you know, in your casual wear. Look decent. You know, wear a nice dress, wear a nice skirt, nice trousers, a shirt. Don't turn up in your jogging bottoms or your jeans and trainers. You have to look the part because first impressions really, really count. And be fully prepared. You know, so have your presenter, have all the one-to-one slides. You can print them out. You can take your iPad if you've got Wi-Fi where you are. So have the presentation ready. Have products if you want to show people the products. It's always handy carrying products in your bag with you. I always carry my lip balm, my moisturizer, my hand sanitizer. They're always in my handbag. So, you know, if somebody, and my makeup as well, my lip gloss and eyeliner. So if somebody, if you meet somebody and they want to know a little bit about the products, you know, take out the moisturizer and say, hey, do you want to try some? We've got the international directory. So if you've got somebody who you're meeting, you don't know where they're going to have contacts. You know, you could be meeting somebody who's got contacts in, you know, all over Europe, and you can show them from your international directory, and you can order this from foreverliving.com. It's in the literature section. I think it's £5. And it's a hardback book, and it's got all the international countries where we've got business. And if it's somebody who's got contacts in Europe, you can open your international directory and say, look, you can build a business here, here, and here. You know, you might know somebody who's got family in America. You can say to them, look, you know, our business started off in America and build a massive business there. Your business can go international. You never know where you can build a business. I've got people in my team who have built business in Ghana. I've got a team member in Canada. I've got a team in Norway. You know, so I've got a team in India. So you never know where you can build a business. And whenever you set your one-to-one, wherever you're going to meet somebody, be early. Don't be the person, you know, who's rushing in, looking unorganized, because again, it's all about first impressions. Be early. Pick somewhere where you can, you know, where you pick the right spot to sit. So if you're going to a coffee shop, you don't want to be sitting in the corner. Sit in the middle where there's people around you, so that when you're speaking, people can hear you. And you know, you want people's ears. You want somebody's ears to perk up and be interested. So you can say to people, you know, get people engaged in your conversation. You know, you can say to somebody, so you want some people to ask you, sorry, I just overheard your conversation. What was it you're talking about? You want to give people that opportunity. So pick a good spot. Don't hide away in the corner. At the end of the day, you're an open book. You don't want this to be a secret. You want as many people as possible seeing the opportunity, and prepare your mindset. Be positive. This business is all about positivity. You need to plan to have results, and that's the sort of mindset that you want to put into your prospect's mind. Make them feel special. You know, buy them a coffee, buy them the tea. You know, tell them that, again, compliments, like Lisa said. You don't have to say to them, oh, you look really beautiful today. Not those sort of compliments, but say, you know, you're the type of person I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody positive. I'm looking for somebody energetic. I'm looking for somebody who's got drive to achieve. I'm looking for somebody who really wants this, because then they'll feel like, oh, you know, this is perfect for me. They'll feel special. So you need to put that across. They're not going to be psychic and not be able to pick it up themselves. Have the next slide, please. So these are the slides that you'll have on the one-to-one. Now, the one-to-one opening slide is the introduction one, the small slide on the left-hand side, where ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. And that's if you're going to print these off, and then off the first page you're going to have on your presenter. If you're going to have your iPad or your tablet or your laptop, then that's what your prospect is going to see. And when you turn to the most important slide, if time and money were no object, that slide is basically about the why. You want to ask your prospect, what are your hopes, dreams, and ambitions? So, what do they want from life? What are they looking for? It doesn't matter if it doesn't seem realistic. What do they want? And what are they prepared to work for? So, this is where you get that commitment from the person that you're prospecting, the person that you're doing the one-to-one with. You want to know exactly what they want. So if it's somebody, say for example, for me, when I started, my ambition was to be a full-time mom. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for. I thought it was impossible because I thought I could never leave work because it just wasn't financially. It just financially wasn't possible. My dream was to be at home, raise my kids, not have to go back to work after my maternity leave. And then what was I prepared to work for? I was prepared to do anything that it took to make it possible for me to be a full-time mum. So when I was shown this opportunity, I knew that this was something that could change my life and that could make my dreams, ambitions, and hopes come true. And that's the sort of position you want to put the person that you're doing the one-to-one with, and you want them to basically, you don't want to say it to them, you want them to spell it out to you so that it clicks in their mind that, oh, this is what I want. So that's what you need to look for when you show them this first slide. Okay, then you need to set the scene. You need to tell them what Forever is all about. You need to tell them why Forever is successful, why we're in such a massive company, why we're part of a business that has been going for 35 years and that has a turnover of $2.6 billion. So you need to show them that. You need to show them, and have that excitement in you when you're telling them that, look, our business is cash rich, it's debt free. And then tell them about the awards that we've got, the DSA, the People Champions Award, how massive we are in the UK, the fact that we've been in the UK for 21 years. And you need to show them the growth, show them that we've never ever slumped, we've always grown. And why we've been like that for 35 years, why our business is so big, why it's so massive. So you need to pass on that excitement, not pass it off, pass it on. You need to pass it on to the people that you're doing the one-to-one with, so that they look at it and they see all this positive stuff, and they can see the potential in it. So setting the scene is important because it shows people that this isn't some fiddy-diddy company that's just come out of nowhere. It's massive, it's strong, it's stable, and it's been stable for the past 35 years. So you need to put that across to people, and it's just simple facts. It's not stuff that you're making up. These are all facts that you're telling the people that you're doing the one-to-one with. So the next slide, please. And then you need to tell them about our products. Our products are fantastic. They're top quality products. They're based on aloe vera. We've got aloe vera in our products. That's what our products are all about. And you need to tell them that it's, aloe vera is not something new. It's something that's been in the world for the past 4,000 years. It was used by Gandhi. It's used by Cleopatra. It's natural. It enhances the immune system. It's a natural cleanser. Again, these are all facts. It's not stuff that you're making up. And you need to tell them why our aloe vera is the best. Why they need to use ours is because it's organically grown. We've got our own farms in California where we grow our own plants. We're the world's largest owner of aloe vera, and we've got no nasticides and nastiness in our products. We use unfiltered leaf from the gel. Tell them about the bee propolis as well in our products. Again, it's a natural product. We've got propolis in a lot of our products, and they say that propolis is more sterile. The propolis that is used is something that's derived from the hive of the bee, and the saying is that it's more sterile than an operating theatre. So it just speaks volumes of how fantastic and what fantastic quality our products are. It's the closest thing to the plant, our stabilized aloe vera. You can't go wrong with it. And tell them how wide our range is. We're in the nutrition, the weight management, animal care, home care, personal care, skin care, sports, cosmetics, beauty, kids, adults. We cover such a massive range. There's something for everyone. So if somebody says, oh, what am I going to use? How am I going to use these products? Well, if you're not going to use them, somebody is. You can use them in your home. If you're not going to use them, if you've got kids, they can use them. If you've got a mum, your mum can use the products, your dad can. There's something there for everyone. You've got to think about it this way. If you're not going to use the products on yourself, if you think it is, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, my health's perfect. Everybody's got teeth. Everybody's got armpits. You can use a tooth gel. You can use a deodorant. So there's something that everyone can buy. So you just need to have that excitement again. It's just about being positive about the products, being positive about the business. Next slide, please, Lisa. And then you need to introduce the concept of team marketing and what we actually do to build our business. So you've told them about the products. You told them about what Forever is all about. Now you need to tell them what we do to build a business. So how do we distribute our products? We don't sell them in shops. We market them. So we cut out the middle people. We cut out the advertisers. We cut out the shops. That profit that we make, basically the money, how we make our money, how we become, how we change our lifestyle is by that percentage that we get from the business. So we do team marketing. So you need to show people what team marketing is and what the benefits of team marketing are. You're working from home. It's personal recommendation. We don't hard sell. We literally recommend. We recommend the products to people for health. We deal directly with Forever. So again, there's no middle person. That's why we don't sell in the high streets. You can work part-time, so you can build this business around other commitments, or if you're not working, you can do it full-time, or you can start off part-time and work towards full-time, which is exactly what I've done, and exactly what so many people in the business have done. They've left their full-time jobs because this is doing so well. You need to tell them about the royalty income from developing an independent business, the incentives. So we've got chairman's bonus, international travel, such as the Eagle Manager incentive, the car plan, your personal training, all these trainings that we have, all the support that you get with Forever. You don't get that anywhere else. The amount of support that you get with Forever, it's just amazing. We're so lucky that we get all of this. And the fact that you can put your business in the will. So, if you've got children or if you've got family who you want to leave your income with, you can do that with Forever. It's not going to stop once we're gone. I know that if anything happens to me, my kids are safe with my income. They're going to be getting that for the rest of their life, and then their kids are going to be getting it, and then their kids are going to be getting it. So generations on, I know that my family are secure. So, you need to explain it in simple terms. Team marketing is a simple system. It's quick to learn. We've got a really, really simple, easy business cycle that we all follow. So it's quick and simple, and it's easy to teach. It's duplicatable. So if we can do it, anyone can do it, and we need to put that across. That if you feel you can't do it, then borrow our belief. We'll help you do it. That's what this is all about: helping people. You're not asking people to join your team because well, it is going to benefit you, but you're not asking people to join your team because it's going to benefit you. You're asking people to join your team because you want to help them. And by naturally wanting to help other people, that will help you anyway. So you need to tell people that all we do is focus on developing 20 regular customers. We focus on finding 5 key people to multiply the time that you want to put in the business. So if you're going to put 5 hours into the business and you've got 5 people who are all putting 5 hours each into the business, that's 30 hours into the business that's coming through you. And all you've got to do is coach those people that you're bringing into the business to do exactly the same. So again, it's just the multiplication process, just the multiplying effect. That's all it works. It's simple, it works, and anyone can do it. And you've just got to make it sound simple. And the one-to-one slides that we've got, that's exactly what they do. Could I have the next slide, please? Okay, and then you've got to explain to them how we get paid. They need to, that's the key thing that people ask, well, where do we get our money from? How do we get paid? So you need to show them that we get paid by retailing. So we get about typically £150 to £300 a month simply by selling our products, by recommending our products to people. So if you've got 20 customers who are buying £25 worth of products a month, it breaks it all down on the slide for you, then they're going to be getting £500 at, 35 hours? I'm not sure what it says under there. And then you need to show them how we get paid once you start building up your promotions. So you're going to be getting a royalty income once you get to manager. You need to show them, how the royalty income kicks in. You need to understand it yourself as well. Watch your business presentations so that you can explain this to people. Show people the car plan, how the car plan incentive works, how it works when you get to manager. As you work your way up to manager, how your percentage increases. That 30% will always be 30%, but that 5 to 18%, that potential is there for you to build up to. And then once you get to manager, the doors open to even bigger pictures. So you need to explain this to people so that they understand that there's massive, massive, massive potential within Forever. So the next slide, please. Okay, and again, the benefits package. So this is everything that comes in addition to the money that we get paid from Forever. So you've got car plan, which will give you up to $6,300 a month. You've got the global travel, tell people. Last year it was in Hawaii, this year it was in London, next year it's in Singapore. Tell them about Eagle Manager. It's in California this year, Sardinia last year. Next year it's in Cancun. These destinations are exciting. They're places that people want to go. So all you've got to do is mention Cancun to people. They look at the picture and they'll be like, oh wow, I want to go there. And you can say, look, join now, and you can get there. I can help you get there. It's all about how hard you work. How much effort you put into it. Show them the checks. Show them the checks show them Jane and John's check from this year. Show them Juliana's check. Natalie Healy's check. These are people that we all know. Who are getting these. So it's not out of reach. And then, again, tell them about the support that you get. All the training that we get. Tell them about the advisory board. This business, you've got to express that it's for yourself, but it's not by yourself. You're not doing it on your own. You get so much support. And I think that's what encourages a lot of people to join, the fact that you get that support with Forever. You don't get it anywhere else. You don't get it with a lot of other businesses in the networking world, but you do get it with Forever, and we're proof of that. So use it to your advantage. So the next slide, please. And then when you close it off, you have to close it off seamlessly. So ask them, say, look, it sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But it's not. All you've got to do is put in a bit of time and effort. You don't have to have skills. You don't have to have retailing skills. You don't have to have team building skills. I didn't have any team building skills or retail skills when I started off. these are skills that you're going to learn and develop. And, say to them, look, you've got to be prepared for a change. If you're happy for change, and this business is perfect for you, or you want to be part of a fantastic team, then it's staring at you right in your face. And then sum it up for them. Don't let them do it for you. Say to them, look, from what you've seen so far, you've seen the potential, and you'd happily get involved. You've seen the business presentation. And then if they say yes, then the next stage is the business presentation. Or if they're not ready to quite join, then you want them to see the product so that they can join. If they say no, then you say to them, okay, it's not for you, and this is where you ask for a referral, like Lisa said. You say, okay, it's not for you, can you recommend somebody to you? And loads of people have recruited people through referrals. Juliana recruited Laura Hearn through her brother's referral, and Laura's got a fantastic, massive business. So, referrals are fantastic. Or again, if they're not interested in the business, they can try the products, and maybe after they try the products, they'll realize that it is actually an amazing business and the products are fantastic, and they'll join, like many of you have. And if they say maybe, then again, you can show them the business presentation, or you can let them evaluate the products to make their mind up for them. So there's different routes that you can take. But when you finish with somebody, you're not going to say to them, "Oh, what did you think of that?" Because you don't want to leave it open. You want to say to them, "What was your favorite part?" So that they give you a positive, and you can take away from that positive and get a positive answer from them. You don't want them to be negative, to pick out all the worms. Not that there are any. And then you close it off just by showing them, testimonials, stories of people in the business who have done well, and you can share your own story as well. You got the next slide? So the top tips are, the one-to-one is vital. Don't ever miss this stage, because if you miss the one-to-one stage, you're heading straight into the business presentation, which has got too much information. Use it to qualify your prospects. So you can use it as like a mini interview, where you're basically gathering a picture of your prospect so you can see how they fit in. You can listen to their needs and desires, and see, sum up how the business is going to suit them, and you can build rapport with them. Again, you can find a common ground. If you're a mum and you're prospecting a mum, you can find a common ground there. If you used to work and the person that you're prospecting works. So, building a rapport, building a relationship is really important. Hold your business high, so give it the number one spot that it deserves, because it is a fantastic business. And act as if they're going to join, but don't hold on to the fact that they will. Say that, oh, when you do this or when you do that, but don't let go of the outcome, because it could go either way. And again, ask the closing question. Ask them, what was your favorite part? Look for the shine in their eyes, and then say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do next. So again, you're taking control of the situation. You're not leaving it with the other person. So the next slide. Thank you. Okay, so this is your homework, your 7-day plan. This is what we want you to do before next week's rolling training. Decide your 3 methods of prospecting. So the methods that Lisa went through at the beginning of the webinar tonight. Choose what it is that you think will work for you, and follow that through for the rest of the month. Order your business cards. If you don't have business cards, order them so that you can use them when you're speaking to people. You can use them wherever you go. Order your prospecting cards and flyers. So again, when you're out, you can give them out wherever you are. Continue making calls. So don't stop. Always have your diary full of calls that you can be making. So set yourself a target that today I want to be making 5 calls. So have those 5 numbers in your diary for you to call, and always keep doing your activity, which is going to keep giving you those numbers to call. Practice your one-to-one. So practice on your friends, your family, your husband, your kids, your dog. practice on somebody who's going to give you, you know, that that effort or that criticism so that you can get it right. You know, you want it to be perfect. Fill in your point sheets, review your progress with your customers so that you can follow up on your customers. You can start building up those case credits. Fill in your point sheet so that you can see how many points you've got, so you can see what you need to meet your target, and book your training event, your next training. You know, find out where your stalls are, find out what events are in the area that you're in, and ignore people who say it can't be done, because there is no reason why it can't be done. The only person stopping you from doing it is you, nobody else. Okay. Is that everything? Is that the last slide? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So thank you for listening, guys. We hope you took away. I took lots of notes from Lisa. See you next week. Bye.